Any% by our own boy Kinnin11.
Hi everyone, I'm Kinnin. So let's just get ourselves a clean file here and just start straight off the bat. We're gonna do some cool Kirby shit, so whenever you guys are ready. Yeah? Okay, in 3, 2, 1, go. So right off the bat, we're gonna be doing that holy thing, which is called a mix. We're gonna grab 2 enemies that give us copy abilities, and that way we're gonna get this done. And we got it first try, nice. I was looking for wheel, and we got it. It's a really good that I got it. Don't worry, I never get tired of puns, so anyways, this is Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. It is a remake of the original NES Kirby's Adventure. There are some similarities, but they're basically 2 different games, so I'm not going to be talking too much about the things that are the same. So yeah, with wheel, we can do a small technique called wheel jumping. You see me doing it here. You do it by holding A and B at the same time, and it gives you slightly more height than regular jumps. Well, it just gives you a better jump here. And here we're going to use a double star to instantly kill this mid-boss. We're going to be doing that once or twice as well later on. Pretty cool. Okay. So a lot of this game is pretty movement heavy, so sometimes when the movement gets a little bit tough, I'll be a little bit quiet. So don't worry too much about that. There we go. Here we're going to do another couple of wheel jumps over these cannons. So you can actually go for either wheel, or you can grab burning here without doing the wheel strats. The wheel strats, if done perfectly, save about 5 seconds. I know that I never save those 5 seconds, but it's a mix, so I have to do it. KSSU honor and stuff like that. But instead we're going to switch into burning here because it'll be very useful a little later on. So we really want to have burning here. So here we're going to fight against Frosty. Now the cool thing about Mr. Frosty is that the way we fight him is we just constantly bonk off the wall, resetting our burning. And because of that we can defeat him really quickly. It's actually a little bit tougher than I made it look. I actually went safe as well, so... It's one of those things that practice makes perfect. And for this room, burning is just a godsend. Even with the invincibility candy, it's just so much faster. There we go. So up next we have our first actual boss. This is Wispy Woods. Now Wispy Woods would be faster if we did it with an ability like Spark or Needle. But burning is just too useful in horizontal movements that we're not going to be using any other ability than burning right here. It just saves too much time coming right up in the next couple of stages in Ice Cream Island. If you're hungry, you should not be watching this run. There's a lot of food references throughout. But yeah, as you can see, like having burning here is just a bit too useful. Ah, damn. Supposed to puff over him, and then you can do this properly. There we go. Yay, we got lucky with a twister. So that little, like, spinny thing, they are called twisters. That one randomly, like, starts a spin attack and whenever it does that, it'll knock you out of your ability. And it's really annoying. Loses like 5 seconds if that happens. Just obnoxious. There we go. So it's really useful that I have an ability here. Because we're gonna do another double star strat right here. 2 jump, because MK Cocoon sucks. Anyways, and we're gonna do that to beat the mid-boss for wheel really quick. And then just breeze through this section. You're supposed to go like up like zigzaggy and whatever down there, but it's just so much easier to float up. It's one of those typical Kirby moments. It's like, oh, we have this amazingly beautiful design stage, but you can just float over it. Typical Kirby design. I'm gonna go down here. So I hope I can get through this section quickly because this is some nice movement here. There we go. And didn't dodge the last one. It's okay that I lost wheel there. I don't particularly need it right now. What I do need is for my eyes to be on the game. That would be quite useful. So this is one of the first Meta Knights arena. The idea with the Meta Knights is that they spawn at given moments, so when certain other enemies are dead. So you can basically just map out a perfect fight every single time in these arenas. And it is one of the big routing things there. It's something that's like constantly looked at as well. It's pretty cool. Lately, the Nightmare and Dreamland community has really been making up a lot of new cool strats. Mainly because of the tournament that we were running not too long ago. 3, 4. Spark is one of the more useful abilities when it comes to defeating bosses. Deals a lot of damage really quickly, so it's really nice. Another thing that I do try to do a lot more lately is random jumps. Because for some reason, if you jump, you save like 1 or 2 frames over running. I have no idea why that works, but for some reason it just works, so you try to do it every now and then. Okay, so this jump coming up right here, if I timed it correctly, nice. If you mistime that one, you'll get hit by the cannon, and it's kind of annoying. But it is fine anyways, because we're grabbing wheel here again, and just wheeling around. Become Sonic and stuff. There we go. Can I just like do the movement? Thank you. So we're gonna switch into our first instance of high jump. This is what high jump does. It jumps high, and it basically gives you a certain amount of invincibility while doing it. It's pretty useful. But it also is quite useful for fighting bosses, which is what we're going to be doing right now. This is Paint Roller. He's a bit of a troll. He can go to any of these 4 eels. And you just have to be lucky to guess the right one or just run after him in time. Got a pretty good fight there. You don't want him to move more than once. And then we're going to continue using high jump into butter building. Mainly because there's a lot of vertical sections in this stage. That was a really nice TikTok fight. There we go. A thing you saw, by the way, was a giant button, which I ran around. Those are used for 100%. You have to press all the buttons in the game. I hope I won't be needing to press any of them because they also restore your health. So if you're low on health, you can use those to get back on it. That was annoying. There we go. Now we're done with high jump, we're gonna switch it to sword. This is mainly because there's another mid-boss fight coming up, and this specific mid-boss sword is more useful than high jump. I'm gonna see why, because this is Bugsy. Whenever you touch him in certain areas, Bugsy will grab you, and that's really slow. So you need to try and keep your distance and at the same time try and damage him, and it's just really obnoxious to do well. There we go. So now we're gonna ditch sword again. I'm gonna see a lot of switching of abilities in this game. It's really cool. And I'm gonna go back into high jump. It is actually, this game is probably the most diverse when it comes to Kirby abilities in the speedrun. Ow. As long as I can keep them, that would be pretty useful. There we go. So coming up next is another really cool Meta Knight arena, and we are going to be doing something really cool. I hope I can pull off this strat. It sometimes is a little bit finicky, so here we go. Oh my god. Nah, I failed the strat, but I recovered nicely. There we go. That could have been better, but this works. Gonna get a full heal here, so I'm okay with losing health there. So the reason we tried to do that fight with high jump is so that we have high jump for this section. We used to actually have sword for the Meta Knight fights, or not even. But having high jump through here just saves so much time that it's worth the more difficult Meta Knights fight. So coming up in a little while is a really cool fight, and I would like to ask chat if they prefer sun or moon. I'll get back to Sid to pay attention to that for me. A fun fact about this room is that in Kirby's Adventure this was actually a 3D scrolling room, but in the GBA version they couldn't actually do it properly, so they had to resort to making it with a timer. There we go. Okay. So what is the chat saying?
Chat is going all out with the moon, man.
Moon?
There's like one sun in there.
Damn.
They all want the moon.
Well, guess we're mooning then. So this is Mr. Shiny and Mr. Bright, and you guys chose the right one. Thank you very much, chat. So it's random which one goes first, and it saves like 2 seconds if you guess the right one, something like that. If you don't guess, like it loses only 1 second over guessing the right one. So there is one guy who is vehemently against trying to guess. But the fact that I had to do moon there is gonna make Chooch happy at the very least. Don't think he's in chat, but whatever.
Nah, man, chat is having a great time. They are very happy that they got it right.
There is a small instance of UFO. We'll be seeing that again, hopefully. Well, hopefully not actually, but it's a really cool ability. And now we're gonna switch into Tornado. Now, Tornado is basically this spin move, and it's just completely timed. I can't stop it manually, but I can decide the height of it. So that's kind of useful in some cases to have Tornado there. In Kirby's Adventure, it was actually completely busted. It's probably the most used ability in that game, but it's kind of tweaked down in this one. So that basically caused more ability diversity. Here we're gonna have a double Puppy Bro Senior fight. I didn't do all that well. If you time everything correctly and everything goes perfectly, you can stand under the left Puppy Bro and he just jumps over you, getting damaged the whole time. It's pretty cool. So this is one of my favorite stages, not just because it has really cool music, but also because it's a bunch of blimps. Just look at it. Whee. Okay, let's see if I can do this movement right. Nice. Oh, you can do that right now.
Alright, so let's plug some donations, shall we? Coming up, we have Mario Party Minigame Island 100%. That's currently an 80% run, so if you want to turn that into 100%, the total for that is going to be 75 euros. It's currently at 5. And you still have this run and the next run to get that map if that's what you want to see. And other than that, we also have a donation bit war going on with Link's Awakening DX for the colorful tunic. Blue tunic versus red tunic so far. Blue tunic is in the lead with 10 euros there. So if you want to change that, get your donations in.
So in the meantime, we got Throw. Throw is pretty cool. It is basically your regular inhale, except that it changes the star you throw out into a double star at all times. And it's going to be useful for the upcoming Meta Knights fight. You'll see it shine right there. If I properly use it, at least. This section can be kind of annoying with your jumps. Okay, so this is the Meta Knights fight I was talking about. So let's hope I can get it done. So because these count as double stars, I can get like a double kill there. And that was really good. That was beautiful. I love it. There we go. There's something you might want to know about burning is that whenever you hit a spike, you'll still get like shut out of your burning. You're not completely invincible. But going through Gordos still works for some reason, even though they're also spiked. I guess Gordos are the lesser of two evils. Nintendo's route to Gordos. Ow. Could have dodged. I could have killed those frogs, but whatever. Wow, he's sliding, damn. This is, by the way, one of my favorite things about Sword. You can just do backhands. This is one of the buttons I was talking about for 100%. I had to get a health refill, so it's more useful to just do that. Doesn't lose you too much time. Got unlucky that I lost Sword though, so I still lost a bunch of health, but usually that works out more nicely. Oh well. This game is quite brutal. If you make a mistake, the game is like, you know what? I hate you. So yeah, you just have to deal with that. Anyway, on to the next boss fight. This is Krakow. We first have a little prelude to him, where we have to high jump all the way up to where we have to fight him. There we go. Now the fight with Krakow is pretty interesting because you can get double hits like that. Because high jump, with high jump you can cancel your high jump, and then you get this little sparkle, and whenever that happens, you deal the damage again. And the invincibility frames line up perfectly for high jump attacks like that. And onto Yogurt Yard. Little secret door. Saves only a little bit of time, mostly because you can grab stone here, which helps with going down quickly. And that's the only use we have for stone in the speedrun. Oop. Looked fancy. Let's see. Oh yeah. This is a more annoying stage in my opinion. It has a lot of like it has a small door maze you have to get through, and I always guess incorrectly which way I have to go. Luckily you can do that. So this is Bull. If you've ever played this game casually, you're like, why is he picking up Bull? Bull is a horrible ability. Well, none of you are a speedrunner. Oh my god, please. That was some really cool movement there, but I haven't done it in a while. And here I was hoping I could show it off. But anyways, with Bull, you can deal a lot of damage really quickly. It's a really strong ability if you use it correctly. So here we're gonna fight against Bonkers, and you're gonna see just how powerful Bull is. There, 2 hits, and he's dead. Yeah. So if you're ever thinking about speedrunning this game, there's a really cool trick I'm gonna do right now, because I'm at 1 health. Right after you finish a stage, you can soft reset, and that way you regain your 2 lives and full health, and it's pretty useful. I'm doing it right now mostly for marathon safety. I might have to do it again during this run, but we'll see. Oh, I go down there. Another little wheel section. A lot of times in the game gives you a section and gives you an ability and says, just do this section with this ability. I'm gonna see if I can do something fancy. Ah, damn. You can do like wheel turns there in midair, and that way you can really quickly go down. It's really tough though. I've never been able to perform them properly. Again, it's something that the Kirby community came up with quite recently. It's really awesome to see them still working pretty hard on the games. Here I'm gonna go into another Meta Knights fight. I'm gonna drop my ability right here, because that way I can get a double star here. Because these little axe dudes can break your stars with their axes, and it's really, really annoying. I'm gonna get ball here, and I'm gonna do a very risky strat. Yay, we got it. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. Oh. Yeah. That can sometimes happen. I'm gonna try it again because I'm a nerd. Yeah. So what's happening is that the little octopus dude or little squid dude is jumping into my ball, and because of that, I can't unball in time. Because this game doesn't like it when you're hitting things. So instead, I'm just gonna do non-risky strats. At least I tried showing you guys the swag strat. Anyway, this is the main reason why we have ball. Just falling down here really quickly. It's pretty cool. Let's see if I can get the ball movement here. Sweet. Sweet moves. Anyway, the main reason we're keeping ball is for this fight here. Let's see if I can do this correctly. 2-hit. And we're gonna switch into burning because it's just more useful in the upcoming section. Right here. There we go. Now this movement that I'm about to do is a little bit tough. I hope I can do it right. Yay, we did it right. It's one of those things that you really have to practice in this game. Getting your movement right to dodge all the enemies in the right ways. Now there's a strat here with turning you can do. It's called flywheel. It's really tough. I've never actually been able to get it, so I don't go for it, but it's pretty cool. I could have tried showing it off, but it's too much. Let's see if I can get... Yay! So that was a nice little first frame mix. For first frame mixes, you just hold the button. It's pretty cool. And we mixed hammer for this boss here. This is Heavy Mole. With Heavy Mole, I want to pay attention to whenever the bottom one is spinning, because then he can slam backwards and hit me, and we don't want that. Heavy Mole actually shoots out hammers as well at one point. Pretty nice. Anyways, this is Orange Ocean. This is the obligatory... we have a lot of water in this world. Because, well, this is a 2D platformer after all. And a 2D platformer without a water world is not correct. Let's see. I do really like this movement. I used to do very difficult movement here, but recently someone showed me this movement. It's slightly slower, but it's way more consistent. It doesn't rely on like a 2-frame window to get the movement right, which is pretty useful if you ask me. There we go. This cannon is a little stupid. So I veered off all the way to the right there to avoid a bomb explosion going off. Doesn't save much, but it's an easy, like, couple of frames to save. And I'm gonna go back into Tornado. So, in this entire, like, world, Tornado is probably the most important ability you can have. So throughout this entire world, I'm gonna try and keep this specific Tornado I've just gotten. And if I lose it once, I lose like 30 seconds or something crazy like that. It's definitely a must keep here. So now we're gonna fight against Bonkers here. And I wanted to cycle him, but I already messed it up a bit. Because you have to do like 2 4 hits, and I did 2 3 hits, so that was a little bit. But oh well. New movement! Yay! I love that tornado movement there. It's just so sweet. There we go. So that is why Tornado is quite useful throughout. Just the easiness of getting through certain rooms. But in this stage, we're gonna have a lot of difficulties trying to keep our Tornado. This is definitely the Tornado killer. And this room in specific. Gonna wait here. There we go. And ah! Thought I waited long enough. So for this room, you have a lot of falling coconuts, and you just need to remember the pattern at which you need to move to dodge them. It's not difficult, but if you don't pay attention, you will get hit and quite usually lose your ability, which we don't want in this case. I'm gonna go for this Tornado here. It doesn't lose too much time, and it's just a nice little safety. Just for the sake of it being a marathon run. And then we're gonna go into this stage, and we're just gonna fly over everything. There we go. That's a hard room to do. So coming up next is the infamous UFO room. Any runner will tell you that this room is absolutely horrible. You have all these UFOs spawning at a lot of different spots. The spots are all set, but where they land is completely random. But with Tornado, it becomes a lot easier. And that is one of the reasons why we like to have Tornado all the way until there. Getting the double star on the Frosties is really nice. And now we got another Meta Knights fight, this time on ice physics because, well, they programmed ice physics, so they better use it, damn it. Ugh. Oh, come on. And that was that stage. Yeah. Now, because I have half health, I'm gonna soft reset the game real quick to regain my health. Because this is Meta Knight, and Meta Knight can be really obnoxious. So it's random if your attacks hit or if he blocks them. I got lucky, I only got one block. That's pretty good for a Meta Knight fight. only got hit once, so that's absolutely perfect coming into the next world. Because this is Rainbow Resort. This is the final world in the game, so we're nearing the end. So in this section we used to use Spark and then the ice physics to slide around, but Suzuri Bako, one of the Japanese runners of this game, showed us a way better way of doing this with sword like that. And there we're mixing into ball. It's once again the first one in the reel, so we only really have to hold the A button. It's quite useful. And the reason why we pick ball is because 7-2 is the mid-boss, like, gauntlet. So I went up to the door in the top. This actually skips 4 of the 8 mid-bosses, so I only have to do 4 now. Oh wow, I could have killed him there. And the main problem with this boss rush is that all the bosses move a lot quicker and are a little bit harder to kill. There we go. That was really nice. I'm gonna end off getting Burning. It's gonna be useful for the upcoming few stages. It's really nice that the game gives you that all the way at the end of the boss rush. It's almost like they designed this game with things in mind. Oop, I do like to grab that tomato, thank you. And here we're just gonna go through with Burning real quick. I'm gonna try and keep Burning for a little while. It's quite useful, so I'm gonna be a little careful going through here. Especially with this Bronto bird falling down there. That Bronto bird has, like, hit me more often than I would like to admit. Some weird-ass music playing around here. Nice. So these rooms are kind of annoying. You got all these enemies doing random things and just have to try and dodge a couple. And I was slow there. Yeah, that was not very good. I'm gonna grab a Spark here, it's just useful for this section. There we go. We used to do this with the vanilla Kirby, but Spark ends up being slightly faster to use. Especially because it gives you a proper ability for the next stage. Which is gonna be another mid-boss fight. But first we have to go through the bomb gauntlet. God damn, I was afraid that might happen. Oh no! Okay, luckily there's a backup for this. And I failed it. Oh well. Oops. There we go. So we're just gonna do old strats and use Crash here. We like to use Spark here because he doesn't immediately drop that little wheelie, and it's a lot of luck base, and we like to remove as many luck based things as we can. I got lucky there though, so it's all good. Didn't lose too much time. See if I can. Ah! You can dodge that flamer as well, but wasn't fast enough. And on to probably one of my favorite stages in the game. This is 7-6. It's basically a sort of remake of the original Kirby's Dreamland 1. The very first Kirby game. In Kirby's Adventure, they actually made it so that everything was monochrome. It was pretty cool. But I think they decided to just leave a lot of colors in here because it's easier to do. Nice. Got that wheel jump. Oh, you're kidding me, right? Oh well. Would have liked to keep wheel for this section, but guess we're doing it like this. So here we're gonna do the final mix of the game, and we got it. We got a bowl mix. That one is actually on the second one, so you actually have to wait a little bit. A lot of people seem to have a lot of trouble with it, but it's quite easy once you get to know it. Oops. And on to DDD. So with DDD, you have to get a little lucky with what he does. And I'm not getting too lucky here. I need 2 more hits. Nice. Just before the suck. And on to the orb. So with the orb, it's kind of like a shoot 'em up. So you have to dodge all his stars and you have to shoot a bunch at his face. Damn it. That was a little bit slow, but it's fine. So now we're going to fight the actual true final boss of the game. We're going to fight Nightmare. And the way you fight Nightmare is... Nightmare wears this giant cloak, which all your stars will just bounce off of. But underneath that cloak, whenever he attacks, he has this little white tornado. Like that. And I died because I'm bad. You should honestly never die on this boss fight, but sometimes bad things just happen. Because if you do things right, Nightmare basically has no chance to get any of his attacks off. And his attack patterns are going in a set order. So right now he's going to do a flyby, and then he starts the whole cycle again from the top. So we gotta get this one again, and then he's gonna do another tornado pulse time, by the way. Was a bit too focused on the game, actually. So yeah, that was Nightmare in Dreamland. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's definitely a fun speedrun to learn. It isn't the easiest one, but it isn't the hardest one either. So yeah. I'm not sure what's up next, but I do know that Sid probably has it up next, so I'll take it over to Sid.
Thank you very much, Kinnin, for